Good evening. Welcome back to the Fox Files. Let us talk about New York again. We spoke about New York early in the Fox Files. You can go back into the Fox Files and have a read about the harlot city, how she adds up to 666. I'll quickly run it by you again. A is 6, B is 12, C is 18, D is 24, E is 30. Use that code right through the alphabet, going up 6 every letter. And use the numerical value of the letters to calculate your words. And you'll find corporate, New York, and computer add up to 666. A coincidence, if nothing else. And by the way, you will not get the grammar of an Oxford scholar out of me. I tend to agree with Socrates. If you put fools in charge, they will ruin everything. And this woke, holistic approach that seems to have overwhelmed common sense everywhere and taken over governments, both big and small, is doing quite a good job of ruining the system we have become used to. I believe it's deliberate. They are following a script. They have the esoteric knowledge. They do not want you to have the esoteric knowledge. I believe they are setting us up to destroy the Western financial system and shift it to Shanghai. You go back through the other episodes, you will learn why. And by the way, humankind have quite a big defect. They embrace unrealistic optimism because they don't have the guts to handle reality. And they have to keep empathizing with their own wishful thinking. So, if we talk about New York at the moment, and we have these corporations censoring information to the people through their media, it's very difficult to get a clear and true view of the big picture. And this city has been, according to the books, very haughty. It's frowned upon blue-collar workers and looked down upon them. I think the blue-collar workers' true value to their well-being will soon be realized, I would imagine, when they are doing without everything that is needed by the city. So if we go through Revelation chapter 17 and chapter 18, you will see that the birds fly out of this city and it is left as a prison for every foul spirit. It is stripped naked, left desolate. It was the center for trade and commerce, frankincense, chariots, oil, barley, wine. It's Wall Street. Does happen to be 1 week of Jubilees old, 350 years or so old. These predictions are mentioned in the books of Enoch, the books of Jubilees, the book of Baruch, the Apocalypse of Baruch. But Revelation chapter 17 and 18 has some good information. Also in chapter 14, it is talking about this city, this Babylon the Great, not Babylon of old. Read 17 and 18 chapters and you'll see it's talking about a specific city, and it was to come. This city has had great influence over the nations, the other nations, and become rich out of trade and commerce. Then all of a sudden, its brought down. And this wine press fires up. And the blood flows out of the wine press, 1,600 furlongs to the bridles. The bridles will be politicians pulled from the left and the right. And 1,600 furlongs is 200 miles, and it is 200 miles from New York to Washington, I believe. So that verse had me confused for many years, but it's very obvious now. So if you don't want to listen, don't listen. If you want the references, I'll give them to you shortly in part 2. But we're just having a talk at the moment about what is going on. We have these local governments, they're really screwing up, aren't they? When you think about the needs of people, basic needs of people, they're not there. So if this millstone is thrown into the sea, that is also mentioned in Revelation, which I believe is a hurricane, more than likely, and those subways become full of water and all that infrastructure breaks down, how is this going to operate if the city is in chaos due to this huge influx of people coming in and forced group living and pushing them together like a wine press? These are the questions I'm asking at the moment. Well, the verses say that it is violence that brings the city down, followed by plagues that locks the city down. So we are getting close now to the fulfillment of the predictions. And in part 2, I will give you the verses and more reference points in detail as to what's going on. So many people in New York are now asking themselves, what is going on? What is their agenda? Why are they doing this? You hear politicians say, oh, they're letting them in so they'll vote for them. Well, that may be possible, but it's dysfunctional. It's not going to work. The city itself is not going to survive. So that doesn't make sense at all. But the big picture tells us the financial hub and operation ships to Shanghai is where it's going. It's going to the Dragon. And this is what is taking place. Okay, I will see you in part 2.